Welcome back to The Local Show, a service of Safe Harbor Wills and Trusts and Geddes Federal Savings and Loan. The Local Show, featuring conversations with business owners, employees, and local business leaders about their successes, challenges, and reasons for doing business right here in Central New York. The Local Show, locally produced by Zoey Advertising. Now, here are your hosts, Tom and Steve.
Well, we're back into it and back at it. You've got The Local Show right here on 570 WSYR, 106.9 FM, and of course on YouTube if you want to see all the lovely pictures and the videos and what we do behind the scenes. And we try to keep Steve from scratching parts of his body so it doesn't offend anyone.
If you don't want to see us, don't go to YouTube.
Yes.
If your curiosity has to slow down at a car accident to look,
Yeah, don't do that.
we
don't want to.
Go to YouTube. You can.
But afterwards, and there's some legacy programs on there. You can see, I know that something everybody was interested in is listening to Jimmer Soccocio tell his story. He's the owner of Chick-fil-A, so that's an interesting story going on, ongoing, and all that. So there's all sorts of segments that you will like. In fact, and including this current segment right now, we're going to talk with Bob Holden Betts. He's the owner of HoBe Honey. How are you, Bob?
Doing great. Thanks for having me, Tom.
Well,
hey, Steve.
Thank you for being here. We appreciate that. Let people know who you are. You know, did you grow up in Central New York, by the way?
Grew up in Brewerton up by Oneida Lake.
Okay.
And currently live in Baldwinsville for the past, probably 22 years.
Now, Brewerton, that's Oswego County, right?
Which side are you on?
Onondaga County.
It is? Okay, good.
But just a minute, you go over the bridge,
it's
it's a different language.
Yes.
Yeah.
And tax bracket. So you're on this side.
Yes.
Like the Orangeport Road up where Tom used to be up in that area?
Oh, yes. I was there for a short
Similar.
spell.
Bartell Road. So right by Oneida Shores. Yep.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, very nice. Very nice. And where did you go to college?
St. John Fisher out in Rochester. Spent some time out there and then came back to this area here in Syracuse.
Were you into sports or doing anything out there other than just academics?
No, working in academics.
Yeah, excellent.
When were you first stung by a bee?
I was first stung by a bee. That's a great question. And
Yes.
probably not till I became a beekeeper, actually. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tom, did you ever step on a bee barefoot as a kid?
I did, yeah.
It's a great experience.
I'll tell you what happened to me once. I was in the furniture business, and we were showing a bunch of people around the furniture warehouse. You know, I was doing marketing for them. And I had my hand, it was in fall, and I had my hands behind my back, you know, just kind of like rocking back and forth, looking around. And I felt a little something crawling on my hand. So I, whipped my hand around and went like that. Well, it stung me. It was a huge wasp. And on the back of my hand, it swelled up like half of a baseball. Yeah. It was incredibly painful.
They don't want to be your friend.
No, wasps
They serve no purpose at all other than to be mean. They're not like bees.
Exactly.
So is it true that you have a Hate the Wasp campaign going? Or
I think all beekeepers do, because they actually come into the beehives and they steal.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
Can they kill the queen?
They usually cannot. No, usually the honeybees gang up on them. And
okay.
So they're like the government.
Pretty much.
I'm sorry. Somebody else does. Don't even go there, Tom.
All right.
Just let's just back away.
So Bob has this business called HoBe Honey, but Bob is also a very accomplished manager and a very intelligent person. Not that beekeepers can't be intelligent, but I mean, he's done other things.
Aren't, right?
He's done other things. What do you do for a full-time occupation?
Yeah, I'm a global sales manager for Underwriters Laboratories, UL.
Wow.
Yep.
So the little stickers you see on all of the power cords everywhere.
Exactly. Yep.
Steve never reads those things. Is it true you can throw him in jail if he rips one off?
No, I think that's a mattress.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So that's all, right?
Yeah, right.
Is that what all is?
All.
Yeah. So it's kind of funny
label.
because global company, but lots of times they acquire different businesses. And I was over in Denmark a few years ago. We acquired a company over there.
Okay.
And people said, we changed the logo around, and people said, "What is ool?"
There we go. See, so that happens.
So you're not far off.
So now tell us a little bit about your family. You got a family?
I do.
Okay.
I do have a family.
Did you pick one up over Christmas, or have you had him for a while?
I've had him for a little while. So, yeah, my wife Trista, we've been married for 26 years. We've got 4 children.
Nice.
Does she call you honey?
She doesn't.
Listen to this. What's your daughter goes to SU. Tell them what your
So
daughter
Justice. So
does.
4 kids: Peter, Justice, Vivian, and Solomon. Justice goes to Syracuse University. She's a runner on the cross country and track team.
Yeah,
there.
Scholarship.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
Is Solomon a wise guy?
Solomon is a wise guy. He is.
Can't help it, Tom.
That's wonderful. And Solomon, he's got a scholarship coming up, doesn't he?
He is a great runner, also quite accomplished. Actually, cross country this year, the New York State champion.
Whoa.
Yeah. And you know where they get their sneakers from?
Let me think. Walmart?
Tell them.
That was a joke. Our friends at Fleet Feet, I'm sure.
Yes, exactly.
He says they have lots of pairs of
Go
Fleet
through
Feet.
a lot of sneakers,
Yes. Okay. So now why'd you get into honey, Bob?
I got into honey mostly because my oldest son, Peter, when he was a senior in high school, he came home, he had a science class, and he said, Dad, we've learned about honeybees, and he's avid reader, brilliant kid, and always good at making connections and a quick study. He said, I think you'd be really interested in keeping bees. So he kind of talked me into it. And as fate would play out, I was at that time I was a upward basketball referee for a youth program in Liverpool.
Gotcha.
And we signed up for a beginner beekeeping class. And Peter and I were there, and we were getting ready to leave. And the guy that was doing the scheduling for the referees, he said, Bob, can you do next week's game at 8 o'clock in the morning? And I said, yeah, sure. And Peter said, Dad, we have the beginner beekeeping class.
There we go.
And I had no idea of people's views on beekeepers. So the person, Gil, that is the director for referees, he goes, you're going to be a beekeeper? And I go, yeah, he's Peter's. He's telling me we should get involved in it. He goes, I got a bunch of equipment from a relative, and it's been sitting in the back of our garage, and my wife wants it out of there. So set us up with enough for about 15 hives.
Wow.
So all that expense that you would normally incur of getting all set
that was
up.
a blessing.
So you took advantage of someone.
Yeah.
You got it for free. Is this what you're telling us?
So
Bigger plan. Yes.
So now, how many beehives do you have?
Currently, we run about 40.
Wow,
about
that's
40
a
hives.
lot,
Yeah. So
Bob.
we've expanded. We started out with 2 the first year, and I had no idea. But if they survive through the winter here, because winters are tough.
Yes.
If they survive through the winter, then basically I had a mentor, and the mentor said, hey, they survived through the winter, so that's great. Now you'll have to split them. I go, what does that mean? He goes, your 2 will become 4. So then the next year the 4 made it through, and you can now 7th year. So
Is it true that you can have a queen mailed to you in the mail?
absolutely.
So explain that.
Yeah. So there are beekeepers that are good at making queens. The bees make queens on their own, and it's easy. They're called frames, and it's easy to see the queen cell. It's much larger than the others, so it stands out, and you can tell when they're starting to make a queen cell, and you can take that queen cell out and you have a new queen, and they're superorganisms, so they're always knowing when they have to make another queen. They know when their queen is not doing well by the pheromones she gives off. So there are people that just make queens.
Is this a great place to make honey? Is New York?
New York is fantastic because of the wildflowers. It's very, very unique. We have such a wildflower variety here. It's great.
Tell us about the health benefits.
The health benefits, if you have allergies, which is a big part of why I get involved in it also. If you have allergies and you use local raw honey, and basically you take a teaspoon of that a day in your tea or however you want,
yes,
your body will build up natural immunities against those things that cause sniffling, sneezing.
Wow, that's
and
fantastic.
all the allergies. Yeah.
Where can people get your HoBe honey?
There are about 12 places around Syracuse. There's a website, HoBeHoney.com.
Spell that.
HoBe.
Okay.
Yep.
So
HoBe.
HoBe.
Yep.
Yeah.
HoBeHoney.com. And there's about 12 different places. Cafe 407, the Curd Nerd. There's some places up in Sackett's Harbor.
Oh, there we go.
Chrissy Bean's Cafe and Marketplace on Main.
Yeah.
And a
Your
lot of
relationship
places.
with Lock One?
We have a great relationship with Lock One. We actually have
Phoenix?
bourbon barrel aged honey that's there. That's in collaboration with them.
The last question: how can honey make Tom happy?
Honey can make Tom happy because I know Tom has been struggling with allergies.
Yes, I
so I think
know.
local raw honey every day will make you happy.
That's wonderful. Bob, you're a wonderful human being and a great beekeeper. We celebrate with your business and hope that people will get out there and support you. HoBe, HoBe honey.com. Please go to the website and order up, all right? Thank you so much, Bob.
Great. Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me.
Coming up next, we're going to talk with another Bob, only this is Bob Molta. He's the owner of Slot Car Central, right here on the local show on 570 WSYR, 106.9 FM, and on YouTube.